Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. Now my first question is, have you missed me? Rob, you're a bit silent there. You know that was for you to answer to.
Maybe.
Maybe, so not soppy or nothing cold-hearted and just been glad of a peace?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. So guys, back to my vocal tones ringing your ears. Today's episode is, well, I've gone away and Rob's been a bit busy, haven't you, dear?
A little bit.
A few things have changed, which we kind of gathered a few episodes ago, we just weren't planning. But we've had a few cutouts, a few bit more of track laying. So we'll get on to a few new things. So the tunnel Rob had shown in the previous video, there is a few changes. He will go into that further on in the episode. And leading off to a fiddle yard. As you can see as well, our board here's had a bit of surgery as well, so that's cut out.
There's a bit missing.
Just a little bit. However, waste not, want not. We now have found a home for our church that I've been building on the lives. So I do apologise to people. Obviously, with me working away, there was no lives this week. But we are looking for that as the home of our church. We still have a few things to do with it. Now, sorry. I said that word again. I'm swearing.
She did. She said sorry.
No, I didn't. It was your imagination. Now, we are waiting for more cork with his addition of a fiddle yard and how it's kind of expanded from additional plans. We are hoping once the new cork arrives, that we can then get on finishing the bottom loop, which obviously means...
Inner loop.
Inner loop.
You will get this right one day.
I will get these technical phrases one of these days, but this is why I have you.
I'm the brains. The question is, who's the beauty? I think I'm the beauty as well.
Yes, of course you are, dear.
Yes.
Especially
on a Saturday night.
Oh, yes. I have to watch out for my shoes, you know. But yeah, hopefully once the cork arrives, we can get this bottom one finished with...
I'm going to interrupt you there.
Oh.
I'm hitting the wrong one because we still need to create the rest of the loop going underneath, through the tunnel, back round, and if I can tilt it down, back round that way. I'm going too fast and it's not focusing. Absolutely rubbish camera work.
And you call yourself a photographer?
A photographer, not a videographer. There's a difference.
But yeah, so we're going to wait for that. We've got a few bits to do today. We have a wedding this week, so I'm hoping maybe a live or two. We just don't know for sure, especially at the back end of the week. And we hopefully have a closer look at John's. We're going up to his weekend, so hopefully we can get a bit more into the progress of his layout as well. So I'm going to go again because the next bit's wrong. We will see you later on, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye. Right, so a little bit of an update on Tunnel Mark II, I hasten to add. Another learning lesson. I found out that the Class 58s are actually taller than the Intercity that you can just see on the left there, and the Class 58 was actually hitting the roof of the tunnel that I'd made, so I've had to make another one, which basically means I've had to widen it. As you can see, I've got the hardboard going across the top here, and I've also got two supports in the centre. I've just checked the clearance on the longest one, which is obviously the 125s, and that's absolutely fine. Again, well, ladies and gents, a little bit of a tutorial today. I've done some lights. Where's the other one? Where have I put the other one? I've done 2 lots of LED strips for Grace's church, which you've all been watching, and thank you for that and supporting it, just so we can get these lovely stained glass windows lit up. So what I'm going to do now is my dad's fire station. Grace is thinking of maybe opening this up a little bit so we can get some lights in this side. I'm not touching that. This is Grace's build. I don't know how she's going to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some LEDs here, then I'll run the wire down the side so it can't be seen. But what I'm going to do is basically, hopefully, show you how to do it. So we've got these LED strips. This was 5 meters and I got 2 for £8 off eBay. And basically they come, you can cut down between each LED at the contact points. So you can get 1, 2, as many as you like or as few as you like. But what we're doing today is, I really think 2 will be enough for the fire station, for the garage itself. When Grace decides if she's going to attack the boards again. We've got our wire. I'm going to cut a strip of this. Obviously it'll go off to a junction to join other lighting across the board, and I've got the buck converters to control the actual brightness of the things. I think, if I remember right, the one I experimented with, I got it down to 2.7 volts, and that was just about right. You know, you don't want them too bright. This is an 80s layout, so you haven't got all these bright modern either halogen or smart bulb lights, which can be a bit too bright for this style. I'm not winning. Why am I not winning? I'm putting it on the wrong one. So we're cutting the ends off these. Just enough to make contact with the end of these, which we have to solder up. Now this soldering station that I bought the other day, absolutely fantastic piece of kit. You've got a range between 90 and 480 degrees centigrade. You've got a lock on it, so you can't accidentally change the temperature at all. Cleaning pad, crocodile clips, solder. But what I've got today is this solder, which Annie's forgotten already. It's 60% tin and 40% lead. It's got a much lower melting point than this stuff. Now this you can actually use for your points on your track as well, if you're choosing to solder up your track. Because again, going back to the lower melting point. So what we're going to do now is just put some solder onto the 2 contact points. Now bear in mind, I haven't soldered for years, and I can imagine Timber's probably cringing right now. So I apologise if I'm making you feel uncomfortable, Timber. I spent 2 years in college studying microelectronic engineering, and part of that was even building what was the name of it? An electronic ignition for a car before they really became a thing. That's how old I am. But I literally haven't soldered for years, so to get really back into the swing of things. I'll ask you, Timber, if you're watching, mate, please comment, do I need flux or not? Because there's no mention of flux. I know it makes it run a bit easier and obviously cleans it. But do I need flux in these? If you can comment afterwards, and because I won't be doing loads, I'll wait for your feedback on that. Oh, I'm not doing a good job of this. I apologise, Timber, if you're watching. But yeah, you know, 10 metres for what, £8. A 2 or 3 LED point. Well, a 2 is what, 2 centimetres. So you can imagine how many lights on the layout you can get for £8. So obviously you've got the positive and negative on the strip. You've got the positive and negative on your wires. Make sure you follow those, and obviously coming off your buck converters, I think it was. I know I've been corrected so many times. Make sure you mark those as positive and negative. Now these, I did experiment the other day with one one of the ones that I did for the, I'll have to put that in there, I think. I got it down to 2.7 volts, which is more than enough brightness for an 80s style layout, I think. No, I can't press down on that in there. I'm going to go back to the board. Don't tell Grace I've been soldering on her farm, because she'll beat me up. No, she won't. She'll ask you guys to help her build a patio, won't she? Yeah, I remember now. But yeah, I did miss her. It's been a while since we've been apart. 2020, 2021, 2022. We spent most of it basically living in the Northwest, working for Northwest Ambulance Service through the company that we work for. When COVID kicked off, our boss said to us, right, we need a few crews to go up to Liverpool for a few weeks. There wasn't a lot of COVID in Wales at that time. In fact, if I remember right, there was one case in Wrexham, because there was 2 of our crews, myself, Grace, and a couple of others who ended up working, I think it was about a 13-hour shift down in Wrexham. So there wasn't a lot of it down here, so we went up to the Northwest. I thought I'd soldered that. I didn't moider in too much. That's a Welsh word, but I think moidering. Yeah, so we did that. And, well, bear with me, Mum's just knocking the door. Oh, whoops. There you go. Okay, be careful, yeah? Mum's just after the gardening gloves. She's feeling a bit better. Long road to recovery on that. But yeah, so we spent 2 years working up, two and a half years working up in the Northwest during COVID. That changed everybody for the better. I think it improved us all, but it was hard going. But all crews, frontline, PTS, call handlers, everybody, doctors, nurses, we all saw some horrible things. But it's been 2 years since we were apart, basically. So yeah, it was only 4 days, but it was hard enough 4 days. But I was chatting to her on the phone, chatting to John on the phone, and John said, "Are you missing her?" And I said it was like losing my left arm. She's loud, she's a bit noisy. We have a phrase for her, inside voice, when she goes a bit too loud. But she's my pain in the bum, so yeah. Don't tell her I said that. And don't forget, don't tell her I said I was soldering my thing. So yeah, I've probably done that lead way too long. So that's 2 strips which I can attach to the inside of, I'll just go and grab it again. Oh, actually might not be too long. So we're gonna attach that. I'm not gonna rely on this stuff. I'm gonna use proper glue as well. Attach it onto the inside. See if I can get you a decent view of it. Attach it onto the inside of there. Run the wire down the inside through the board, and hey presto, we've got lights. So yeah, I can't remember, 30, 40 quid, something, whatever it was, I can't remember. You don't have to go branded. This is a cheap one. Don't ask me to pronounce it because I can't. We're all on a budget these days. We're all finding it hard with money. So don't go overboard if you don't have to. What I might do at some point as well, once I get back into the swing of doing these things properly, is I've seen people selling these things for silly prices on eBay. So what I might do is get myself into the swing of soldering these things up, and I'm going to sell them if any of you guys want them. If you're not sure about your soldering skills, I know Timber's a really knowledgeable lad. Sell them for the price I can make them, basically, so I'm not ripping anybody off. Anyway, I hope that's okay for everybody. Hope you're all keeping well. Thanks for watching.